Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another episode in the Rayo Vallecano career mode. This is episode number 33, and we're starting today's episode with some player training. You can see Rui Faria is now a 67 overall rated striker, which is kind of cool, and also Russia offered me the job, but of course I said no, as I'm still not interested in international management in this series. Before we come into the first game of today's episode as well, against Celta Vigo here in La Liga. Now, of course, coming on the back of our 1-0 win against Esteban Jarria and his Mallorca side in the last game or the last episode. Right now in La Liga, we are still top of the table as we approach the halfway point of the season, and it's been absolutely fantastic for us to still be leading the pack despite the games keep on going and we don't lose at all. We've lost just once this season, I should say. We've lost just once this season to Valencia, but other than that, we've won most of our games and drawn a couple as well. So it's been a remarkable first half of the season, and we tried to make it back-to-back wins here in La Liga with another victory away from home. The first chance did fall to the home side. They hit the crossbar, and then we had our first chance of the game here 23 minutes in. Trashoras was denied by a good save by Ruben Blanco. From a corner straight after that corner though, Trashoras once again would go for goal from range, but once again Ruben Blanco had the better of him and beat our skipper shot away. We had a lot of corners though in the first half, as you can see, and 43 minutes in another one fell here. Adama tried to pick out Trashoras. It was a terrible pass from me though. It came all the way to our left back Nacho, who just like Trashoras went for goal from range, but like the other two attempts, Ruben Blanco made this save. So this season we scored so many goals from outside the area. That's why I'm not as afraid to let it fly as opposed to normally trying to work the ball into the box. But it was still 0-0. But a great turn by Trashoras saw him beat his man and get inside the box here, one of the first times in the game. But the skipper couldn't hit the target though, and it goes wide of the post. So still 0-0 in this game, despite quite a lot of chances in the first half, particularly from range. But in the second half here, not much was really happening until with 30 minutes to go, when we failed to deal with the ball here after Johnny robbed Raul Baena. He got himself inside, and how about this for a stroke of misfortune? Now this season we've had quite a bit of luck, I'll be the first one to admit that. We've had a couple of moments go against us, but this one was unbelievably frustrating. Nacho, our left back, who would not sign a new contract, who is almost certainly going to be leaving in January, scores an own goal here after the cross was played in by Johnny at the far post. The Celta Vigo man couldn't really get the shot goal bound. It wasn't going to go in or anything. It was going straight into the gloves of Kepa actually, and Nacho stuck out a leg. I didn't press any buttons. Unfortunately though, the auto animation puts the ball in, and we concede an own goal, which would end up turning out to be the only goal of the game. So Celta Vigo 1, Rayo 0. We did have that final chance there as well. Konate hitting the post and the ball bouncing across the goal line, but sadly no one was on hand to tap it in. And the game did indeed finish as a 1-0 victory, and I thought we did play just as well as our opponents in this game, despite them having more of the ball. Ruben Blanco makes some really good saves, but the own goal was really frustrating, because you can see it was definitely going to Kepa, no doubt about it. It certainly wasn't going in from the man at the far post. And Nacho, I mean, that's really frustrating. You know, it's one of those auto animations there, one of those block animations. Just really bad luck, really, and unfortunately couldn't really do much about it. But still, Celta Vigo would win the game, and that's only our second defeat of the season as well, in La Liga at least. It's been an unbelievable start to the season. That's why I'm not too upset about that loss either, because even though I did feel we played just as well, and it was quite frustrating the manner of the goal we conceded, we have had a really good first half of the season, and sometimes luck's going to go against you, sometimes luck will go in your favour, and that's why I always try and keep a sort of a balanced frame of mind when seeing those sort of situations there, because yeah, I get really frustrated, but I know eventually luck will come our way, and that's just one of those things. But still, following the game, you can see right here, our chief executive let us know, I think it was our chief executive, let us know we had 4 players who have their contracts up coming at the end of the year. Trashoras, Jozabed, Nacho and Baena as well. All 4 of those players are 23 years old or older and can lead the club on a free in January. We've only decided to offer contracts to Nacho and Baena so far. Nacho of course declined like 4 we offered, so not going to give him any more, but I've given Baena a new contract, and we shall wait and see whether the guy that captains us in most games will decide to stay or whether he will leave. But still, for the second game of today's episode here, we will take on Athletic Bilbao back at the Estadio de Vallecas, and we will take the lead as well 25 minutes in. We had the first chance of the game, Rui Faria finding Konate. He was denied by a good save with the goalkeeper though, but Leiva would score his first goal for the club here 26 minutes in, and I was really relieved to see this happen as well, because out of all the signings we've made in this series so far, most of which have worked out quite well, but Leiva's been very disappointing since I bought him in the summer transfer window. He seems really static. He's got very low pace, I would feel, for a winger. winger, and even technically he's not the best either. That's his first goal for the club though, and a really nice strike as well, as he made it Rayo 1, Athletic Bilbao 0, and we will take the lead in the 26th minute. But 10 minutes after that, we had a great chance to double our lead too, with Faria finding Hermoso through the gap towards Bainer, who ran through and would find the back of the net himself, and we would double our lead as well just 8 minutes before the break. And Bainer offered him a new contract just before this game. That's the way to show that you are loyal and you'll be staying. Running to those substitutes, running to the fans, a really good finish, and our number 8 puts us 2 goals up. So that was quite a nice team goal, that one as well. Not too many passes, but some good off the ball movement, and a really nice through by Hermoso through the gap, and Bainer ran through and found the back of the net himself. So Bainer with a goal, his 3rd of the season so far. I think that's already more than he scored last season, so that's kind of cool. And just before half time as well, in stoppage time in the first half, he had a good chance to make it 3-0 here and really put the sword to Athletic Bilbao before the break. Leiva found Konate, who gave it back towards our winger, who unfortunately could only hit the side netting, but he looked a different player in this game. This is the only game I've played with Leiva so far where he actually looked like a really solid investment. But still, it was 2-0 at the break. We were in control in the first half really, and in the second half not much really happened at all. The game just came to a walking pace at some point, and after that happened, that's kind of transition, the game slowed down completely, and there was basically no chance whatsoever until with 2 minutes to go, when Mera sprinted down the right hand side, our centre back going on the run, because why not, played it through towards Mera out off the bench. I tried to round the goalkeeper. I don't do it too often, but I'm trying to get better at that as I come into FIFA 17. Obviously I try and work on what sort of finishes I do when I go one-on-one all the time, but this year I've really struggled with rounding the goalkeeper. But I tried it regardless. He got taken down, Mera out off the bench. I thought we were 2 goals up, may as well try something different. I won a penalty. The goalkeeper stayed on the pitch but couldn't stop the spot kick, as despite going the right way, Mayerau put it right into the top corner. So 3-0 to Rayo. Borja Mayerau comes off the bench, wins a penalty and converts it himself, and we collect the win by 3-0. So delighted with the win, but also the performance as well. A really solid 3-0 win against a very good side like Bilbao, coming on the back of a 1-0 defeat to Celta Vigo away from home as well. Our only second defeat in the season this season in the league, and then to beat Bilbao by 3-0. That's a really good way to respond in my opinion, and a good way to show everyone too that that game against Celta Vigo, that's just a blip, man. Don't write us off this season. It may be an underdog story, but believe me, we are going to be trying to cling on to this top place throughout the entire season. So a good solid win there, and we are still undefeated at the Estadio de Vallecano this season. Also kind of funny as well, but Mera got credit with an assist in that game. I don't know where, and I don't know how, as Bainer accepts his contract here, which is really good to see. Unless it was for Mayerau getting taken down for the penalty, I have no idea, but still, following that as well, some bad news on Boxing Day. Bangura comes to us and says he would like to leave the club. Very frustrating indeed, and what's made even more frustrating is that I basically have no control over this as well. The board have come to a decision that we need to sell Bangura, and as you can see right here, they said they're going to accept an offer for him when a acceptable deal comes in, which is really frustrating because we've had this before in my careers, most notably with Sanchez back in my West Brom career in FIFA 15. Well, that was with Arsenal obviously, but still West Brom, PSG and Arsenal career. It's kind of frustrating when those things happen because you have basically no control over whatsoever, and you know that they're probably going to end up going for less than their valuation unless you can sell them yourself. So it basically means the writing's on the wall. It's just about how much money you can get for him. So what I'm going to do is not put him on the transfer list. I do expect a bid to come in regardless though, and unless the board accept one before that, I'll accept anything which is around his valuation. So it's frustrating because I did say Bangura is a big part of my plans. I was training him quite a lot at the start of this season, but unfortunately that's just how it is, and it looks as though Bangura will be leaving. But still, for the third and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Eibar in the final game of December. So right after this game, we'll go into the January transfer window. So one final chance for players here to prove themselves in this team and also see which areas we are weakest at. It was Eibar who had the first chance of the game hitting the bar, but we would take the lead pretty much directly after that, and it was Konate who would open the scoring as well. Adama with yet another assist. This guy is just Mr. Assist right now, and our striker in place of the still injured Perez would open the scoring and make it 1-0. We took our time with that one before sprinting down the right side with Adama. He's so quick, but check out the defender here, number 23 for Eibar. He's caught by Bainer's run, doesn't know what to do, and that gives Adama space to cross the ball into the centre, and there is Konate. And I've said this a few times before now, but watch that goal back if you want on the replay. The AI this season, their off-the-ball marking is always to go towards the free man and not the guy that's running with the ball. I've said this so many times, but if you you want to really try and score more goals this season, you don't need to pass the ball around as much as EA suggests you should. Just keep hold that ball and run, seriously, because the AI will always be drawn to anyone making a forward run. But still, it was 1-0 to Rayo, and we had one chance after that as well, but the goalkeeper made the save. But just before the break, Ibar won themselves a free kick, and as you can see, they hit the bar for the second time in the game, and then Taylor headed a rebound wide. The second time Ibar would strike the woodwork, but the game would finish as a 1-0 win, as we dug in to hold on to a 1-0 scoreline, which we've done quite a few times this season, but once again pick up the 3 points. And it's crazy how many times this happened this season, these 1-0 wins in games which aren't really convincing. I didn't play well in this game at all, and I think a draw would have been a fair result. Ibar certainly deserves something for hitting the woodwork twice, but instead, like I said in the first game against Celta Vigo, sometimes luck will go against you, sometimes it will go for you, and in the Celta Vigo game went against me, in this one it went for me. The home side hit the woodwork twice in the game, and for our goal as well, the number 23, the defending, was really poor marking. That gave a damn at the time and space to cross and pick out Konate with the finish, and we win the game by a goal to 0. So delighted with the win, another win notched up, and as you can see, going into January, 17 games into the season, we are still top of the table by 4 points. What a fantastic first half of the season. Let's see if we can still be top after 19 games. But that will end today's episode in the Rayo Vallecano career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode in the Rayo Vallecano career mode very soon.